Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of me doing CCNA lab. Today is day 26, OSPF, part 1. The question here is very similar to the last one. EIGRP setup. Um, I already showed you guys how to do this, but I don't mind doing it again. It's good practice. And then we're gonna configure loopback interface on each one as well. Same thing. Let's see how much I can remember. But let's go on each one. Go to each device and configure the IP address and host name. So click on this. COMT, host name, all1. So we should see router to all1 here, router name, just like that. And then we're gonna configure IP address. In this case, this 1, 2, 3 interface. Um, let's do G3 first. Interface G3 slash 0. IP address 203 dot 113 dot 1 slash 30. So that would be 255.255.252. Just double checking, make sure my number is correct here. 201, okay. All right, and then we're gonna do no shutdown to enable the protocol. Okay, so you can see here that it's down and then up, green now, which is good. We're going to do the same thing for the other interface. You do not to, exit it out again and then re-enter, but just go ahead and type the next interface. Int f1/0 IP address 10.0.13.1 255.255.255.252, and then no shutdown. Again, router default is always down. So we just basically turn it up. Do another one, interface G0/0 IP address 10.0.12.1 255.255.255.252. No shutdown. Okay. We could do show IP interface brief to check. You could see here interface, the only interface that is not enable or manually configure is the F20, but there's no S20 here. So that makes sense. Okay. And go on to the next one. Interface COMT hostname R2 interface G00 IP address 10.0.12.2 255.255.255 252, no shutdown. Pay attention to this red light here. Boom, now it's up, ball up. Same thing with F01, F101, F10. My bad. IP address 10.0.24.0 nope, dot 1 255.255.252. No shutdown. Should not be red green yet because I need to configure LSI. But for this is good. We good to go. Then do the same thing on this one. Interface conf host name all4 interface F10 IP address 10.0.24.2. Then no shutdown. Not green. Interface. Interface G00. IP address 192.168.4.254/24, so 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Okay, and then same thing for the F20. So interface F20 IP address 0.34.2 255.255.255.252 because it's /30. Enter and then no shutdown. Last, we're going to do interface conf hostname all3 interface F10 IP address. Oops, my bad. IP address 10.0.13.2 252. Double checking the number just in case. I'm tapping pretty fast here. And then no shutdown. Up. Last one to do is the F20. F20 IP address 10.0.34.1 252. No shutdown. Okay, so everything is up. Good to go. I don't have to configure this one. Let's say you don't have to configure this. Okay. Configure loopback. Okay, loopback. Let's see if I could remember. Exit. We're gonna do interface question mark loopback right here. So we could do loopback, and then we're gonna give the name. We could do like a number. So we could do question mark to see what the interface number. So we could do. I'm gonna do 1. So now loopback 1 is up. We need to assign IP address of that loopback is this. So enter that configuration interface L1 represent loopback 1. Hit enter. We in. But if you have it like this, for example, then you do in L1, right? Now I am in. I'm gonna do IP address, just like the same thing we did for the router. So assign IP instead of the real IP. We do the loopback IP that he wanted it. 1 slash 32, which is a 0. So we do. I don't remember we used 255 here or the wildcard. I think we used 255 because wildcard is only for EIGRP protocol. So let's do that. Okay, cool. Configure each loopback, and then good to go. Let's see, configure protocol. Yeah, we'll do that later. Do this second one. Exit interface loopback 1. Again, we don't have to call this loopback 1. We could call it 2. It doesn't have to be, matched with this. It's not like a protocol that it have to match like EIGRP, but you could change it whatever you want. And then do IP address 2.2.2.2, 255.255.255. Okay. And then exit interface loopback 1 address 3.3.3.3. Exit interface loopback 1 IP address 4.4.4.4 255.255.2. Okay. And then don't forget to configure the IP address for PC1. So go ahead and do the default gateway because we learned from the last lab that we need to enter the default gateway. If you don't know what the default gateway is, whatever the switch or the switch connected to the router here, that is the default gateway, right? The gateway is just the router. So interface gateway, like interface IP of that gateway, IP address of that gateway. So 192.168.4.254, and then that's it. Okay, and then we're gonna go to interface 192.168.4.1, and then they should auto populate. Yep. Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. Last time we configured the IP address host name for all routers and the PC, and then we configure the loopback interface for each of them. Now I'm going to configure the OSPF on each router. So let's just do that now. enable, COMT, router, OSPF, process ID of 1. You could name anything from 1 to, I think it's like 35,000. You could check by using the question mark. Oh, 65,000. So I use 1. And then do you want to use network address? Now I'm going to use specific network address here. Oh no, specific IP address. So I could type 10.0.12.1 0.0.0.0 and then area 0. I'm going to use this type of method for all router. I think just make it easier, at least for me to understand. So essentially, I'm telling the router that um, I'm going to use specific IP for this. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for another interface. 10.0.13.1. Double checking, and then area 0. Oh, forget to enter. Yep. Now we're going to do the same thing for loopback. You want to include loopback 1.1.1.1.0.0.0 area 0. Okay. And then we're going to, prevent router from sending in unnecessary stuff like OSPF Hello messages to the loopback interface. So we're gonna do passive interface loopback 1 that we created earlier. And then we want to configure the ASBR advertise a default route into the OSPF domain. So let's type default information, originate. Okay. Exit. And then you want to type IP route. Okay, you can't do IP route in here. IP route 0.0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0 dot whatever this number is, the 2, so 203 dot 0 dot 113 dot 2. Okay, and then I could do show IP protocol. Okay, I could check all the interface, routing network, passive loopback. do show IP OSPF database. I could do show IP OSPF neighbor GH. Oh, I thought I mistyped. My bad. Sometimes this stuff gets you, you know. Okay, so there's nothing showed. I mean, I haven't configured anything yet. Obviously, I haven't done this one, We'll go back to that. Could do show IP OSPF interface. Process ID of 1, ID router. Everything is here. Loopback line. Protocol is up. Yep. Okay, so we good for this one. I'm gonna do same thing for all three. Enable T. Router OSPF. Call it you could call it 2, 3, 4, whatever. It do not need to be matched with R1. It's more flexible like that, not like EIGRP. You have to have the same number. Okay, so let's do like 2. I should have do it. I should have do 3 because it's like router 1, router 2, router 3, but that's fine. And then network 10.0.13.2 0.0.0.0 area 0, right? Area 0. Same thing. This time 34.1. Okay. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why. Using my arrow and sometimes it just trigger 1. Okay. And then also don't forget to do the loop back. This is router 3, so 3.3.3.3 0.0.0.0 area 0. And then same thing. We want to prevent the OSPF sending, the hello message to the loopback. So we're gonna do passive interface loopback 1, and then I think that should be all for this one. Now we go back to this router and check the neighbor. It should show. Like last time it didn't show. So now it know that the neighbor is that we just configured earlier is here with loopback interface 3333. Just good. Now I can do the same thing for all two. NO1 configuration FT router OSPF 3. So then I did 2 another one, whatever, that's fine. In the real world, I think we want to use it precisely, maybe I call it like a 2 in this case. So then I made that mistake earlier. I'm not gonna change it for now. 10 0.12.2 0.0.0.0 area 0 network 24 dot dot 1, yeah, dot 1. Thought I made a mistake right there. God, what's going on? .24 dot 1 10.0.24.1 enter. Same thing, passive interface L1 and go back here, check the neighbor again, just to double check. Yep, now I know this too. Routing is with this interface, good, okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing for this one. Enable configuration T and to router OSPF. Let's do a 4 and then to network. Okay, 10.0.24.2 0.0.0.0 area 0 enter network 10.0.34.2 0.0.0.0 area 0. Oh, I made a mistake. And then last, nope, not last. We're gonna do this one also. Network network 192.168.4.254 0.0.0.0 area 0. Okay, and then we're going to do the network loopback 0.0.0.0 area 0. Then we do passive for L1, and then we need to do another passive for this interface right here, G0/0. We don't want to send it to that because this is not a router, and they do not need to get any like hello messages from the OSPF protocol. So we're gonna do G0/0 area 0. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I put area 0 there. Okay, there you go. So if we check, let's say we check router 2 to show IP OSPF neighbor. You could see that is being connected to all 1 and it's been connected to all 4. Okay, so I think we did everything here. I believe we just need to check exit, show IP route. Could do show IP protocol. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What else can we use? I'm just gonna check my note real quick. What else do we use here? I don't remember all the command. Just want to check here real quick. Of course, some of these things I want to do it based on my understanding and how I remember things, but most of the time you will need to use your notes and you know whatever you understand, whatever you have basically. Let me see. Yep, static route. I mean, yeah, the default route is this. Yeah, this is the default route, not static, because it's the star right here. So yeah, configure here. That is good. So everything is there. Just double checking through my note. Um, but yeah, let's see if I could ping. I'm gonna ping. Um, I'm gonna ping. Let me double check here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna ping this. Enter. It's gonna do the ARP request. I could press this to forward the process. So you can see here I got the reply, meaning everything looks good. I could ping, at this point I could ping anything and it will work. I could ping um, 10.0.12.2, I get a reply. It doesn't matter. Just we already configured the OSPF protocol. 34.1. I'm picking this router here. Looks good. 13.1. Sorry, .2. It looks good. So yeah, that's all I have today. This is gonna be good for me to go back in the future if I need to go back. But for now, I think getting really good understanding about this part one, and let's see what part two is all about. So peace out.